So talking about the why is one of your most important jobs as a leader, right? So you need to be able to have a story in place to say why this is necessary, not just because everyone else is doing it, not just because it's trendy, but what purpose? How does this serve our mission and our goals of what we're trying to accomplish as a company? So you need to also really make an effort to champion your human talent. Make sure that in this area, whenever we're reaping these rewards of excess productivity, that we are also sharing this and championing it and making sure that we're including humans that remain along the way. So to this extent, especially with all the emotions and with the threat emotion that the humans are going to be facing, you need to put in extra efforts more than you would have before to really kind of showing how much you value the inputs that they're having and to show that your support and your priority is still with them. One of the ways that you do this is by asking employees, the people who are actually doing the work, to help design how the AI is going to be used. How can we use this tool to make your job better, easier, more efficient, right? They are the ones that do the work. And so just like going all the way back to the Taylor studies of before, it's not about looking from afar and trying to make a guess or a judgment about how we can put AI in. Why not go to the ground floor and start talking to people and ask people to co-create how they're going to work with AI and how it can help them to do their job better. Also providing ample support and resources, making sure that there are training available so that people aren't as fearful, that they feel confident in the use of being able to employ it. And then always having a human, and this is important, not a chatbot, but a human that people can go to very easily to voice any concerns about the AI decisions that are being made or output that's happening. So you always want to have open channels of communication to where you can get that feedback about how AI is being deployed or some of the output before it becomes a bigger problem. All right, so another thing that you should start to do as part of your role as the chief communicator is not only explain why the AI is necessary, but show that you've thought about how it's going to affect each and every one of your stakeholders. All right, so have a story prepared that you've thought about how this is going to change the way your customers interact with your website or with your process, that you've thought about how this is going to change your employees' day-to-day lives and you know how that's going to impact them. So you need to kind of show that you've put the effort to think about the impact that this will have and that you've perspective took from a lot of different angles and really communicate that you've have their needs in mind, right? That you are kind of considering their best interests. You also need to kind of show different sample scenarios that are relevant for people's jobs so they can start to envision the way that it would be used and how it might actually help them and make their work go a little bit better. Also, you want to make sure that you prepare your customers before this rollout and also make sure that you're not letting the machine drive the pace or drive the process of work. Even though we can use the algorithms to help make things a little bit more efficient, you can't assume that people are going to become more machine-like. I think that to the extent that you can add some human quirks and preferences into the algorithm itself, you're going to have a lot more better collaboration between AI and humans. So there's a lot of different use cases. So rather than having the algorithm determine when humans can take a break, let the humans decide whenever it is that they feel they need a break. Remain some kind of autonomy in that system. Another thing is about variability. Humans naturally don't work at the same pace 100% of the time, right? Sometimes we work harder, sometimes we work slower, right? This natural variability is part of being human, and it should be worked into the systems that we have. Because sometimes, we have other things going on in our lives, but also this downtime can sometimes help us to be more creative. If we have that time to pause and reflect and take an extended break, sometimes that's whenever we have our aha moments that help us tackle a problem or come up with a new solution. Right? And then finally, with all this saved time, it's important that we really are proactive and strategic about how we redesign the jobs that humans are doing. How can we play to their strengths, both as humans and as individuals? And how can we take that time and repurpose it into creative pursuits, innovative pursuits, things that humans find interesting and meaningful and purpose-driven? And so To do this, we have a lot of decades of experience and research telling us how we can foster creativity in our organizations. So put all of these best practices into play and let the employees know that even though you are automating some of their boring and rote tasks to kind of free up their time, they do have expanded responsibilities, and that you do want to hear these creative, half-baked ideas, and that this is what their unique value is and something that you expect from them. And this is kind of a key message, and one that I want to end on, is that it's more important than ever as we're getting taken over and all the headlines are dominated by technology, that we have to emphasize the humanity. We can only do that if we keep humanity at the forefront of our leadership style and our organizations.